She's making copies for you?
Yeah, she's making copies, but one of them were the budgets, so.
I already made copies of the budget for everybody.
Yeah. They were all sent copies too, so we'll deal with that. But I need one other item that she is doing. Everybody has the budget, so just keep those on. Right. This you want to give to everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thankfully, I left earlier today, so I didn't have to work.
Those usually don't happen on Monday. Okay. Do roll call.
All right, for roll call, Frank Carr,
Here.
Mike Burns,
Excused.
Chris Genty,
Here.
Brian Krebs,
Present.
Paul Sackett,
Here.
James McGath,
I don't know where he is, so I haven't heard from him.
and Roger Walsh.
Here.
Thank you.
Approval of the minutes of July 11th, 18, and July 26th, 18 meetings of the commissioners. Those have all been sent to you, and I'll entertain a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Additions, deletions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of purchases, leases, contracts, work orders, or repairs whose cost exceed $500, including $1,316.98 to the town of West Bend for the cost and installation of no parking signs, and $822.50 to Talon Audio and Video for an additional camera at the Connery Drive launch area. Entertain a motion to approve those purchases.
Well, I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I have discussion, and I'm curious as to how it could possibly have cost $1,317 to buy and install these few parking signs. I'm a little mystified, even though I'm a representative of the
I was
town.
saying, maybe you should ask your people that you supervise at the town, because the breakdown that I got, labor materials to install 13 no boat trailer parking signs as requested, as follows. DPW labor was 12 and a half hours at a rate of $40.70, which came to a total of $508.75. They charged for the use of a 1-ton truck, quantity of, it looks like 5 hours at $55 an hour for $275. And they charged to go pick the signs up for 2.5 hours at $27.50 an hour at $68.75 total. And purchase signs, post, and hardware was $464.48.
How many signs is that?
13.
$130 a sign.
Well, those are
Can you
expensive.
negotiate a better deal for us?
Those are expensive signs.
Well, I thought the labor was, I mean, they said 12 and a half, so I guess if it took 12 and a half hours, it took 12 and a half hours. But it's an hour a sign, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm in a position to question it, but it just seems a little high. Was Dennis the one who submitted that?
I would believe so. I mean, I just got the invoice from the town, so I don't know who actually submitted the hours and everything from there, but.
I presume Bob put together the invoice.
Buzz, do you want us to hold this? And you
No, I
you
mean,
go?
we're never gonna get it changed, so we might as well. It just seems like it's a little much.
Okay, any other discussion?
The 13 signs, where are those? Are those just by the 3
The
public
majority of the
launches?
signs that we posted were roads that were not covered, so there was some that went up onto, Maple Ridge.
So these are town roads.
Yes. So Maple Ridge, Court, and Cedar Lake Drive, Cedar View, and I believe there was a couple more signs put up on Betcher, but I don't know that we were responsible for those because there was always no parking anyways. I think those were the only 3 roads that.
Don't they have some additional signs that they're gonna put up on Hack?
Right, well, those are roads that were already no parking the way it was. I just had suggested that they add a couple signs to the roads that were posted because they were spaced out so far. So they had 4 signs left. I don't know, I think they were still signs that they already had at the town, but they were gonna put a couple more on Acker and then on Schneider.
Were any of these signs to be put on Highway 144?
No, those were by the county or the state, I think. We didn't supply those signs.
I guess I'm confused why we're paying for signs that the town they're on town roads and the town's gonna collect the revenues from the
Yes.
fees on them.
But the purpose of the signs were to help PRD in enforcing the issues of over parking, over use of the launch facility and so forth. And if we didn't have signs there, the town, without us paying for it, the towns probably wouldn't have done it. So we think it's important that the signs be placed to protect the neighborhoods over on Betcher, on Westlake Drive, other places like that. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of bills and accounts.
We had that other, no.
There were none?
There was 2 checks on there, so that approved both of them.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
No,
All
there
right,
was
then.
discussion.
Wasn't that put in? Both of them were
Yeah.
put in? Both points were put into the motion, right?
All right, that's fine.
Both points were put into the motion. That's what he's asking.
But there was discussion on both of them, nobody else had discussion, so I guess it's.
Now, we approved those purchases, Lisa.
Okay.
And we have no register report.
They do.
David,
Maybe it's hiding.
Be the top one.
Right, that's,
8986,
Yeah,
Dan.
well, we've been having a meeting for 2 weeks. 8986 was reimbursement to Don Hafner for the patches on his uniform that he had sewed on that we supplied. 8987 countywide extinguisher. We needed a couple of recharges done on the old extinguishers that we had for 5032. 8988 2 galls for 8960. That was for uniform shirts for previous hire within the last couple of months. Carmen's Anna when we hired her. 8989 to Conley Media for 229.85 was for the legal notice that went in the paper for ordinance 2018-1, which ran twice. 8990 to Portageon for 190. 8991 US Cell 4052. 8992 TH Wolf for fuel 877.35, and 8993 Charter Communications for 163.41.
motion, Chris?
I move to approve checks 8986 through 8993
E-checks 2332, 2333, 2353 through 2375.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next three are appointments of new water safety patrol officers. First one is appoint Don Hafner, retired Glendale Police Department officer, as a water safety patrol officer with a starting wage of $20 per hour, $3 over the normal starting rate. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Dan, do you want to?
Don Hafner, as you said, came from Glendale Police Department. He was on there for 37 years. Retired, and obviously came to us for a job, and we hired him. Figured usually what I do with officers that have that much experience and time in, we usually start a little higher, so I was requested to start at $20 an hour.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 6, appoint Frank Emmanuel from the Eagle Police Department as a water safety patrol officer with a starting wage of $18 per hour, $1 over the normal starting rate. I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Dan? As it states here, Frank came from Eagle Police Department. He's been working there for, I believe, 4 years. He had some, I forget the other department he was working for, but he does have some water safety patrol experience also. Looking at starting him at $18 an hour, which is $1 above normal rate.
Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 7, appoint Andrew Martin, the Washington County part-time deputy, as a water safety patrol officer with a starting wage rate of $17 per hour, the normal starting rate. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved. I'll second that.
All right, and discussion. Dan?
Andrew Martin works at Washington County Sheriff's Department, or Sheriff's Office, as a part-time special deputy. He was hired last year, I believe, in fall. Checked with a couple guys I know over there. He's working out good with them. That was his first law enforcement job, and he was hired on here at the beginning starting rate.
Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 8, report on district operations in general, report on summer 2018 water safety patrol operations and other summer 2018 operations. Dan?
For the month of July, and I'm not sure if we covered this because we've had some meetings in the last month, but I don't think we did July.
No, because this just came in
Okay.
at the end of
So
July.
summer patrol actual on the water patrol hours was 281.5. Administrative hours were 58.75. And we had a total of 340.25 for combined. We hauled 26 loads of weeds from Big Cedar, issued 37 citations, which gave us about 7.6. Compared to last year, we had a total of 376 in July of last year compared to 340.25 this year. So we're a little down. I don't know how that works out. I mean, the summer's been pretty decent, but citations are up. We're at a total of 80 right now for 18. Last year, the whole total was 84, and we've already surpassed that because this past weekend we wrote 18 citations.
Wow.
What,
They all range from PWCs within 100 feet or 200 feet from shore, a lot of stops for wrong way through the channel, and they have other issues on their boats, whether it's PFDs or safety items. 10 mile per hour, we probably had, I just off the top of my head, probably 8 of those this past weekend. We had a couple PFD violations, riding on gunnels, so there were a variety. I think there was one registration too.
what's the fine for failure to have a throwable?
I believe that one's at 230 something now. Is that what it is? 232? All those citations went up from the DNR, the state statutes, so. I think for not having a PFD, it's almost $300 now, affordable. So that makes our local ordinance at 169 look pretty low. As far as launch, 2018, we are at, for dailies, 20,538.48. Last year we were at 20,954.91. So we're right around the same area. Annuals this year we're at 10,240. Last year we're at 9,760. Weed cutting operations have been pretty slow again this year. Main areas we've been cutting is the north end and up by the yacht club to the south on the west shore. We've been working that area a little bit, and down by far south end. But the weeds are kind of starting to come up now, but there really isn't a lot of action. Little Cedar, we have a lot of milfoil and stuff we've been cutting over there. I think we ran almost 40 loads out of there this year. And cutting again this week. But their billing is coming out. I'll send over. We're about the same as we were last year for that first quarter for billing. I think we were a little over around 7,000 in total cost for the first quarter, which was about the same as last year.
How do the load size compare that old truck that you had compared to the dump trailer,
They're still running about the same.
volume wise?
So the loads that you talked about in your report are similar this year to what they have been in the past?
Correct. We gotta get a weight on it. I wanted to go over a weigh a dry weight and then a load just so I have an idea, because I have the weight off the truck, so I know exactly what we're hauling.
Okay, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, the next item 9, approve the agenda for the 2018 annual meeting, which will be held on Wednesday, August 29th, 2018, at 6:30 p.m. at the West Bend Town Hall on Highway C. You've been given a copy of proposed agenda. Take some time to take a look at it.
Just so you know, I made a couple corrections on the one you sent me, Roger. One of them was in this notice down at the quote from Jim on the second line there, commissioners of the, they changed.
Okay.
There were a couple other ones on the whole, and then the whole newsletter that I made a couple corrections to also.
Oh, okay. But anything more on the agenda?
Is this state of the lake and its watershed a presentation that's gonna be given by someone independent
No.
of our group?
No, we're not gonna be doing much on it because it's in the newsletter.
I see. Okay.
Was that the only,
That was the only correction I found on the agenda itself.
okay, just the, all right. Everyone had a chance to review the agenda? Entertain a motion to approve this draft of the notice and agenda for the annual meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 10 is review and give preliminary approval of the district's 2019 budget and 2018 tax levy to be collected in 2019. We've all had a chance to look at the budget. So entertain a motion to approve, or give preliminary approval to this budget document.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Under water safety patrol, like the wages line, it's about 13,000 higher.
Yes.
Is that for the increase for controlling the launch?
I believe so, yes.
And then,
We're estimating
yep, yeah, I know it's,
as to
yeah,
how much it might be. But,
Yep.
I think this will cover it.
then under weed control wages, it stays at 90 from 18 to 19, but it was at 79 back in 17.
Those are the actuals, not the budget. The 17 is an actual.
Mhm.
And it was that, I don't know what it'll be this year. We just have kept that in because that, I don't remember what the 2017 budget.
That
I'm
could,
up.
that could have been 92 then.
It could have been 90, could have been 85, could have been something there.
Is that wages for also doing the other lakes, but then we just,
That's all
Yes,
of them, yeah,
yes,
that's all.
they're in, but then up
you
on
get,
the
you get
income
get
the,
split.
the receipt you bring it
Right.
up. Okay, I just,
So we might get back, 16,000 for weed control on Little Cedar for the year.
And we've increased the budget by $4,000 at least for the income from the contract from the prior year. 2018 was 29,000, and for 2019 it's 33.
sure.
So some of that we have to put them. We put them in the weed control budget, but then we get a reimbursement back on that.
I noticed.
And Brian, anytime we don't spend what's in the budgeted amount,
Mhm.
then eventually, when you're looking at these columns, we show the budget for 2018. The next column is the first 6 months actual.
Mhm.
Then the next column is the estimated, and we usually go back to what the budget amount was.
Mhm.
At the bottom of that fifth or fourth column, you'll see a balance. And that balance is what's left that wasn't spent from the budgeted amount. And that balance goes up as a balance to the 19 budget, to the top on the fifth column.
Okay,
So anything we don't spend, let's say that 90,000 of weed, is excess, and it will come back to be at the top of the fifth column.
so it comes back as undesignated funds.
Yes, and then then those funds are used to offset. What we usually end up doing is taking the, you'll see the 483,065 is total cash available. And you'll see that that's also on the last, that's up on the income. If you look on the fifth column, at the bottom over here, it's the same number.
Yeah, it's
So
not,
you end
it's
up with a zero balance.
not undesignated, it's just offsets the levy. So everything that goes back into the budget, so the numbers, everything's designated again, it's just that rollover offsets what we levy.
Okay.
It reduces the levy.
So instead of throwing it into a long-term account, you're just offsetting right away?
Yeah.
Right, on 1 year. We put in reserve accounts, which will be used for some of those expenses.
Yep, I saw the reserve accounts and their balances down there. Which leads me to one question, what is a conservancy account?
Well, for example, if we are able to purchase a piece of property,
Okay, so that's for property purchase?
property, other environmental issues, we try to have a good reserve on that in case we need to make an expenditure that, when we did some studies on Gilbert Lake, the cost of that came out of the Conservancy Reserve.
Okay.
And that was because it was an environmental.
Maintenance on any of the ponds.
Okay. Last question, for commission expenses, commissioner salaries is zero?
Yes.
It's just everyone here
They
volunteer
make,
basis?
they're not getting a raise
No.
in 2000.
I'm appointed here,
You're
so.
appointed and you may get funds from the
You're probably the only one that's
county.
getting paid out of the commissioners.
Yes. That line item has been zero since 1975.
Okay.
And
So
that's,
if you want to volunteer, Ryan, you could go.
I volunteer all the time. That's why I'm here.
but we keep that in to point out to the people that, that we do not get rich.
That's why I'm asking now.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any
That's
other
all.
questions?
That's all I have.
Okay.
I have one.
Yes?
Under weed control, you got reserve for equipment.
Yes.
That had been $40,000 in the 2019 budget. It's dropping down to $20,000.
Yes.
Uh,
We bought some equipment this year. And we knew we were gonna be doing that, so we put that in the budget last year.
So the anticipation is we're not gonna be buying any more material pieces of equipment beyond $20,000.
Right.
I got you.
That's generally, that reserve for equipment goes into any equipment other than weed harvesting equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be patrol boats, it could be motors for the patrol boats, it could be a lot of other. And we have put it into the reserve for equipment in the weed control, just because we didn't want to have two different reserves. But we use it from now.
And this garbage contract under sanitation is this is coming up, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
I'm not
last
sure
year.
what, we have paid $93,000 for the last 2 years. I don't know how much it's gonna go up, so rather than put a number in there, we've just got a couple thousand.
We're out for bids next year though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
We're
thought
we're in the last term of our
Yes,
contract.
what I
we'll be sending out the bid proposals
So
over the winter.
the town of West Bend has been talking about the possibility of doing something for the entire town.
Yes.
So we need to have a dialogue with Jim Hype and.
I have been talking with Jim on it. The one big issue that we have to work around is the protection district covers the town of West Bend and the town of Polk. And we are going to have some numbers that I can submit to Jim that indicate the number of homes that are in town of West Bend and town of Polk. But at this stage, it may not make sense for us to go with the town waste disposal and then have to take care of the town of Polk. So depends on what kind of costs they can get or whether the town of Polk I don't know what the town of Polk wants to do. So,
Yeah,
because I don't think they have a garbage contract.
It's a little bit confusing, because I think Silver Lake has a garbage contract too,
It's up to them.
for the PRD.
Yeah, well, they're a PRD, and they have it that's all in the town of West Bend.
Right.
I don't know what Little Cedar does. I don't think they have any garbage
I don't know
contract with
about
the
that one,
PRD.
but, you know,
These are old items that have been in existence for, as far as I know, we have had this kind of a contract, for back probably in the 70s.
Mhm.
And it might have been sanitary district. I wasn't sure it was sanitary district at that time.
Guys will have to open another line over there if you take over the garbage contract. Phone line. I'd be happy to
I
pass
was
it
gonna
right
say, you're
over
gonna
to
be
you
happy
guys.
to have that.
All right,
If the garbage contract is coming up for renewal, could you insert some language in there that you could cancel it if the town of West Bend would take over? You know, if it.
In the
if it-
contract?
Yep, if it takes longer to work something out with the town board. As long as they're still getting the contract, they, you know, the same company takes.
well, that may not
They
be
don't,
the same.
I know,
company.
but it may or may not, but, you know, if.
Hopefully they'll have a
something
decision
there.
by then when we renew to whether they're gonna do it or not.
The numbers that I'm gonna be giving to Jim were what's holding this thing up right now, from our standpoint. And when we get those numbers, it's because we're getting the mailing list names and addresses and that for this.
I can add those tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
we have all the mailings pulled, so I just gotta split the town of Polk and town of West Bend.
But I would assume the town might wanna do a split bid, one with, including the PRD here and Silver Lake PRD, and one
Yeah,
without.
isn't it further confusing by the fact that the PRD garbage contract doesn't include recycling?
We purposely did not include recycling because the town has a recycling center.
Yeah.
And we weren't gonna charge the residents of the town in this area twice.
I understand that, but what's confusing is that the idea of doing it for the town would be recycling and garbage, and they closed down the recycling center. So there wouldn't be any recycling center if the town decides to do this, because they're gonna do it with garbage and recycling.
That's not necessary, they don't have to.
They don't have to,
I
but
think they want
they
to.
want to.
I'm trying to save money, I guess.